everybody, it's Larry. Welcome to today's video, and I have an exciting announcement for you today, one from MyHeritage. They have an offering, not a deal, because a deal insinuates money, and this is going to be an absolute freebie that you don't want to miss. We're also going to talk about some of the differences between Ancestry and MyHeritage, and we're going to talk about which one's better to break down a brick wall, and that answer might surprise you. I know the answer surprised me, and we're going to quantify it. We're going to show you some actual numbers, give you some actual examples, and tell you just why. So let's start with the announcement first, and that is MyHeritage has announced that from March 1st of 2022 until March 8th of 2022, if you upload your DNA data to their site, they will unlock the tools, the DNA tools for you, absolutely free for life. Yes, that's right. Upload it and you get the tools, access to the tools for free for life. Not only that, but you also get access to the DNA match list, to the three-way triangulation. You'll also have the ability to do the clustering there. And folks, you are 6 times, that's right, I'm going to say this again, 6 times more likely to find a shared match on MyHeritage in the areas you're looking for than you are with Ancestry. What? Oh, come on, Larry. That can't be because, Ancestry has that giant database of people. And I've always told everybody, Ancestry has the biggest data pool to match against, so you want to go there. Yes, but they only show you shared matches down to 20 centimorgans, which means the numbers that you can actually use for clustering is greatly reduced. So let's take a look at that and more. But first, before we get into that, I want to get into just about the download from Ancestry, 23andMe, FTDNA, doesn't matter which one. When you download, it does not take the data or the DNA away from your site. It doesn't impair the functionality whatsoever. This is an absolute freebie. And the way you do it is you'll go to, let's in this case, use Ancestry. You're going to go to the DNA main page, okay? Click on DNA, go to your results summary page. Up at the top right-hand corner, it says Settings. There's a little gear icon and the word Settings underneath your name. You're going to click on that, and you're going to scroll to the very bottom of the page where it says Actions, okay? Next to that will be this area here. It says Download, and there's a down arrow, okay? And you're going to click on that Download. You got Close or Download, okay? So right here, it says Download DNA Data. Okay, so this is where you're going to download your DNA data. So you're going to enter your password. You're going to say, I understand that once I download it, it's my responsibility to keep it safe. And you're going to hit enter, and it's going to collect that information, put it in a file, and send an email link to you. You will get a link that looks like this. It says your requested data is now available. Download DNA data, and you're going to click that. Now, I recommend you save it to your desktop because that makes it easier to find. But if not, the default is typically your downloads folder. So download the file. The link is only valid for 7 days. If you don't click it in 7 days, it goes away. So they clear that folder. Everything's out there for 7 days. You're going to want to come over to the MyHeritage website. Now, if you don't have an account, it's very easy. Just takes a few clicks to set one up. But if you do, you set it up and you click on DNA and go to Upload DNA Data. So when you come here, it says Start. Now, this is hot off the presses, folks. This wasn't even up here. This banner saying this promotional all week, that wasn't up there on my previous takes, but it's there now, and here we go. So we're going to do Start, and you're going to answer a series of questions. Now, how many? Well, you see the number of dots. There's 8 dots. The last one's a confirmation, so there's 7 questions here. Whose DNA data are you uploading? Mine, if it's yours, or someone else if you're managing kits. You'll enter the person's information here and confirm that you have consent to do this. If you click on mine, okay, then there's nothing more to click on, and you just click continue. Now, it has terms and conditions. So this is the MyHeritage terms and conditions. You'll read through, this list or as far as you want and click close, and the privacy policy also, and close. Now you want to do that and click that you've read them. So, it's an important legal thing between you and them, so you'll want to look at it, but click continue. Now right here, I explicitly give my consent to process my DNA data file. All right, you have to do that for anything to happen. All right, it tells you right here what they're going to do. So you click continue. I confirm that I'm not doing this related to law enforcement or, for legal forensic actions. Basically, what you're doing is if they don't have a warrant, they can't come and get the data. It's kind of like going into your house without a warrant and getting data on you. So basically, this check mark is a privacy protection from you. I like that it's added there. All right, so enabling DNA matches. Basically, do you want DNA matches? Well, yes. So we're going to click yes. Don't click no. Click yes. Go forward. It says sharing your ethnicity and genetic groups, sharing DNA segments. Well, I'm going to say yes to both of those. And the reason why is the sharing the ethnicity estimates is going to allow people to sort the DNA match list by ethnicities. That's something that you can't do at Ancestry. You can do at MyHeritage. You can actually filter all the people in your DNA match list by certain ethnic identifications that they have, that they share with you, which can help you further find your answers. And you want to share the DNA segment data for the Chromosome Browser so that someone else can use the Chromosome Browser to identify lineages. We're going to click continue. It says participation in research. Now it says it's completely voluntary, and it is. You don't have to do it to upload it. The informed consent's right here. It says, I have read the informed consent. Do you consent? I'm going to say no. Okay. So here we are. We've accepted all the terms, and I've declined the participation in research. So I click on upload. When I click on upload, it's going to pop up a window where I find that file on my computer. Now I didn't download it, for there, but there you can see how you would do it. You just go, if you download it to the desktop like I recommended, you just click on the file and then you click upload and you're done. All right. Then you just wait a period of time. And it's typically about a day or so, and it will go against everybody in their database and then give you your results. And like I said, with the free offering, if you do it between March 1st and March 8th, you get access to all of the DNA tools that are associated with it, which are the Chromosome Browser, Auto-Clustered Ethnicities Map. Now, the Chromosome Browser is a great way to explore, so you can compare people in your DNA match list. You can compare the DNA and see what segments overlap between you and them. This is a great thing. So we've got down at the bottom, it gives us a summary. I have 18 segments with Ellen and 10 with Darren, and 8 of them triangulate to both. Okay? So the Chromosome Browser, that's for another day, another topic, but you get access to this tool right away after you upload your data. You'll have access to this. Auto clusters. You click here to generate, and takes the confusing data of all the DNA matches and forms them into clusters of people automatically based on their shared DNA. So you'll get these, and these will be like family groupings. Now, like 2 or 3 of those groups could be under the same family line, like your grandmother, and then the other one be your grandfather. So, it could be on that same side. But this is great for helping identify that information. Again, this tool will be free to you. You will click generate, and it will send this to you in an email. That's really cool. And yes, it actually has that little animation for you with your clusters. It'll actually do that with yours. That's pretty cool. All right. So there you have it. That's, uploading it and doing that. But I made that bold statement at the beginning that you're 6 times more likely to find a shared match hint over on MyHeritage. And you're wondering, it's like, wait a minute, how can that be? So let's go back to the DNA matches, and we're going to see that on Ancestry, if I click right here, I have 45,000 matches, 45,692. But if I come over to the DNA match list over on MyHeritage, I only have 19,000. So double, let's call 1920 for a round number. That would be 40. Oh, they got 45. That's more than twice as many DNA matches on Ancestry. So how do I make the statement that is 6 times more likely to find a shared match over on MyHeritage? And how is that true, Larry? Well, let's quantify that for you right now. See right here, right under where it says all matches, the next one says close matches. And notice the number, 3,055 that are 20 centimorgans and above. 3,000 that are 20 centimorgans and above. So when I click on one of these names and I go to the shared match list, it only goes down to 20 centimorgans. That means the entire global data set on Ancestry of shared matches for me is 3,000. On MyHeritage, the total pool of shared matches, since the DNA match list goes to 8 and their shared match list goes down to 8 centimorgans, is 19,271. So using round numbers, this is roughly 3,000. 3,000 times 6 is 18,000. And there's 19,000 here, more than 6 times the number of shared matches for me to cluster and review over on MyHeritage than on Ancestry. So even though Ancestry has more than twice as many people in the database, I'm 6 times more likely to figure out and break down a genealogical brick wall for an ancestor on MyHeritage. Now, if you're trying to find your biological parents, because they're going to be higher than 20 centimorgans, Ancestry is absolutely the winner. It's the easiest to find it there, unless you just get lucky with a DNA match on MyHeritage. But if you're looking for anybody other than parents, and you're looking at a distance, and you're trying to get the clues, because most of us have already researched out to a certain distance, you're far more likely to get it out there. Well, okay, so that's easy to say. Let's look at a couple of specifics. Now, I pulled up a person here called Maria. And Maria right here, there's 33 matches on Ancestry. And just so you know that legitimately is 33, she was actually one of my groupings. And you can see right here, the number 33 is next to the 45 on her name. And it's this one that we're looking at right here. All right, there's 33 of them. Now, if I come over to MyHeritage for Maria, and I look at the shared matches, which, as I kind of jokingly say, it's down the page, and sometimes you got to wait for it to come up, which is kind of frustrating. So it's right in this area. Did it not load? That's not good. There we go. So we bring it up right here, and maybe it was there and I over scrolled it. There's 367. 367. How many were on Ancestry and the shared matches for the same exact person? 33. 33 to 367. That's 12 times the number of matches over on MyHeritage for that person. 12 times as many shared matches for me to look at and examine, either with the Chromosome Browser, the auto clustering, all the different things. That is an amazing and an incredible difference. So there's more than twice as many people that you're going to have in your match list on Ancestry than you're going to have on MyHeritage. But to break down walls and to find new information that you couldn't ever find on Ancestry, MyHeritage is the absolute winner. So like I told you, when I did the video when you could cluster, I said, you had a Lamborghini with no gas, and if they did it on the shared match list, it'd be like a Lamborghini with nitrous oxide. For those of you who don't know drag racing, when you flip the switch on a car with nitrous oxide, you basically turn it into a rocket ship with wheels. Okay? So that's what you have over here on MyHeritage. You have a rocket ship on wheels. The 3-way triangulation alone gives you insights, incredible insights that you can't get on Ancestry. You simply can't get it. You're like, Larry, well, okay, what's that? Well, I'm going to show you, because I want you to take advantage of this offer that they have to upload your DNA data and get the free tools this week. So I'm going to show this to you. So here's a match, Kim. Okay, I think she's like the 6th match on my DNA match list. All right, so right here, notice, Ellen Oliver, I match her at 170. I match Ellen Oliver at 535. She does too, but she matches her at 3,500. Ellen's her mother. I match this person at 184. So it's half brother, uncle, or nephew. She matches them at 1,900. I match this person at 21. We'll talk about that in a sec. She matches them at 1,100. Okay? So at 21, because the numbers are a little higher over on MyHeritage because they count a little bit differently, that's under 20. She does not show in any of my match lists over on Ancestry, but she does over here. And I'm going to show you why that's really important. So right now we have Kim, and we know Ellen is her mother, and she's got a half brother or an uncle or a nephew named Darren. And she's got a first cousin or great niece named Amanda. So we're going to click on Ellen. We're going to look at her DNA matches. and she's got 1,300 shared matches. Over on Ancestry, I don't have that nearly that many with her because the one's over 20. But looky here at the insight we gain. Darren, who is mentioned on the other page, is 3,500 centimorgans, is her son. And here's Kim, 3,500, the daughter. And then here we have Amanda as either a half-sister to Ellen or a granddaughter. All right, so we don't know if it's a half-sister because when we were looking over at Kim, she could have been, Ellen's sister there. Again, only 21 centimorgans to me. Now we're going to look at Darren, and we're going to see what insight we can get. So, because we know that that's the mother, Ellen's the mother, and looky here, it says Amanda's the daughter because 3,500 centimorgans to Darren. So now what we've done, just by looking at the three-way triangulation, we've created a microtree. We know that Kim and Darren are half brother and sisters. We know that Ellen is both of their parents, so Darren's mother and Kim's mother. And we know now that Amanda is his daughter and not the sister of Ellen. We were able to figure that out just with the three-way triangulation right there, the three-way centimorgans. But that's not all. I told you again how powerful this three-way triangulation is. Look at here. Here's Kim. Now, Kim and them, they're on my dad's side. They're part of that descendancy line where I share 4 great-grandparents with. All my great-grandparents on my dad's side, I share with them. That's the 3 brothers married to 3 sisters. They fall in underneath this. So looky here, though, on my cluster, and I've started clustering here. There is my mother. And that's a fairly high match. There are 47 centimorgan to me on my mom's. This person's clustered in my mom's cluster. And 26, almost 27 centimorgans to Kim. So I'm now seeing crossovers from my mom's line into my dad's line that I didn't know about before. I'd identified 6 connections to Kim and Ellen and Darren and Amanda, 6 connections. Now I've got 8. 8 paths of shared DNA. So you've heard me talking about in videos that you get exactly 50% from mom and 50% from dad. Well, I've got DNA that's on my mom's side that my mom inherited that are from shared ancestors that also my dad inherited. So I get, let's call it, DNA A from, my dad, but I get that same DNA A from my mom and then their spouse B. I got A and B from dad's side, A and B from mom's side. And it's included in here in the 4 cousins that I shared already. So I've got extra DNA matches. That's why when we come up here to Ellen, we talk about Ellen is a 535 match. Well, she's a second cousin. We're going to look at this. She's a second cousin. So 3,400, 1,700, 850, 425, 212, 106 through James, 106 through Sarah. But notice both of these daughters, McFarland, through James. Look at the kids' names, both of them Brown, because she married Fred Brown, she married Clarence Brown. All right? So I've got a 106 through Clarence and another 106 over here, because Clarence comes up through William Brown and Caroline Clark, and it doesn't show in here on this one. But I've got 4 paths of 106. That's 425. But when you look at her, she's 535. There's another 110 centimorgans. Where'd those come from? Well, they come from, like it shows, my mom, one of her clusters shows right there as a pretty high match. I've identified 2 others, and I've shown that in other videos, that I have a Brown and a Collins ancestor that married each other. They're the 8th great-grandparent on my dad's side, 9th great-grandparents on my mom's side. And now with the 3-way triangulation of the centimorgans and with the clustering on MyHeritage, I've identified 2 more crossover lines. And now I'm able to start adding up to this 535. It's incredible the information you get there, and it's absolutely free. Just go to Ancestry23andMe or FTDNA, download your data. It does not affect anything on those sites. It's a freebie download. It's your information. You have every right to it. Download it, upload it to MyHeritage. Do it between March 1st and March 8th, and you unlock these tools for life. You also will get a new ethnicity estimate based on, the information you got. Mine here is significantly different than what it shows on Ancestry, and so that gives me new insights. Now, some other things about the DNA matches over on Ancestry, on the filters, just like we have on Ancestry, you can do the labels and do a filter by labels, but you can filter by genetic groups, which are the subgroups under the ethnicities, and you can filter by ethnicities. And not only your ethnicities, but all of those inside your group. So let's say you find a microtree cluster like we did with the Ellen and Darren and Kim and Amanda. Let's say I find this microcluster and they all have this Iberian, but the other people and stuff don't. I can click on Iberian, filter the list only those with the Iberian heritage. And I can focus in on that. So the information that you can get and the way that you can drill down with the filters on MyHeritage is superior to what you get on Ancestry. Ancestry does have far more people in the database, 2.5 times more, let's say. But you're going to get 6 times more DNA matches in your shared matches on MyHeritage than you're going to with Ancestry. 6 times more, folks. Not 100% more, 600% more. That's a lot. Then you add in the power of the 3-way triangulation. You add in the power of the clustering and the ability to filter on genetic groups. On top of all that, you've got some ways to hash out that. And oh, did I mention that if you upload this week, you also get access to all their free DNA tools, such as the Chromosome Browser and the auto clusters and the ethnicities map. You don't want to miss this offering, folks. It's a great thing. It doesn't come along often. They do this about once a year. I think this may be the second time they've done it, second or third time. It doesn't happen very often. So this is your chance. It's easy to do. It's free to do. It doesn't affect anything else. And you get all of this, all the power of MyHeritage for free. I like that kind of price. And I hope you do too. Hope you enjoyed the video. And if you want to know, I haven't done a video in about 3 months. And the reason is when MyHeritage came out with the clustering, folks, I absolutely have been night and day going over what all this can do. And the more I look and the more I do, the more I find, and I'm finding insights into my stuff. And when I go to make a video to share that with you, I find some more stuff. And so I get excited about that. And for 3 months now, I told you it would be the greatest tool on the internet, bar none. It is. And now you can upload your DNA data, take advantage of that tool and more for free. Do not miss out. Pass this along to your genealogical groups. Pass this along to your Facebook groups. Pass along to all your genealogy friends. If you have multiple kits, now's the time to create and upload those kits and get the tools unlocked for those kits so that you can do things that you could never do before. And oh yeah, did I mention you get 6 times more DNA matches in the shared match list at MyHeritage than you do at the industry leader Ancestry? I think I did. And I think I showed it to you. Don't miss out on this, folks. You'll be glad you did it.